Welcome back to Kevin's Point of View. Uh, Today I'm going to talk about tools. Well, first of all, my name is Kevin, obviously, and I'm visually impaired. I decided that in the beginning of my videos now, if this is your first time seeing my video, I'm going to give you a brief background on myself. December the 11th, 2013, I lost my sight due to prolonged neglect of excessively high blood pressure. Yes, my blood pressure got the better of me, and I lost my sight because of it. Learning to live with being visually impaired has been a very, very tedious, to say the least, journey. The roller coaster of emotions were very high at one point and very low at others. And this is my attempt to document my journey from December the 11th, 2013 to right now, and before I go on down the road. So that's it. I will talk about the emotions of losing your sight, living with my wife, with having my sight lost, her journey with me, dealing with someone that's visually impaired, the emotional aspect of it, the joys, the pains, the ups and downs, the tools that I use on a regular basis, going to school, and whatever other subjects that may come up along the way, being visually impaired. So now that out the way, that's the background. Now, today we're going to deal with tools, or like I'd like to call it, toys. Today we're going to talk about the money counter, the colorino, the walking cane, and the reader, which reads books for you that you can get from your public library, and the iPhone, which I use. It's immeasurable to me. Invaluable to me, excuse me, because I just can't see myself without my iPhone. My iPhone is very important to me because it does so very much. So, tools. I'll start with the money counter. The money counter is a little device fits in the palm of your hand, and it counts your denominations for you: 1, 10s, 5s, 20s, 100s, 50s. And it tells you, all you do is hold the corner of it up, slide it in there, and it'll 1, 5, 10, 20, and so forth. That's very, very important. So when you're out, you don't have to guesstimate. Just get somebody behind the counter trying to take advantage of you. You can just get your change back and count it. Find out how much it costs, you count it, and there you go. The next one we'll talk about is the walking cane. That white and red stick that people call it, but it's not a stick, it's a walking cane. Because you use it to avoid falling on your face, shoulders, legs, behind, knees, whatever. It'll save you a lot of aches and pains because you take the cane, put it towards your navel, and you swing the cane left to right while you're tapping the ground. You touch the ground with the cane. The ball of the cane touches the ground, and while it's on the ground, you swing it left and right, never losing contact with the ground. So that way, if you're swinging it from shoulder to shoulder and it's touching the ground, you can't run over anything because the cane will tell you what's in front of you. Now, if you're walking along a aisleway or outside or whatever, and there's low-hanging branches, well, I advise you to walk across the street or walk somewhere else because you can't see the low-hanging branches and you can't put the cane up, because if you can't, it's got the cane in the air, then you can't feel it on the ground. You can hurt yourself either way. So duck your head down, walk under the low-hanging branches, and go on about your business. But the walking cane will definitely save your life, because it saved mine on many occasions. Oh, and a little side note, while I was in school, they showed us a little technique just in case you find yourself tripping over something and you're about to fall down. What works for me, and I've actually done this, and my wife was amazed when she seen me do it. Uh, I was about to fall forward, and what I did was the movement is think of yourself bending over and touching your toes with your hands. Then once you do that, turn your behind towards the direction you're falling in, and when you fall back, treat your body like a pendulum swinging back and forth. That way the momentum won't carry you to fall over on your head. It'll just rock you, just sit there on with the floor or ground or whatever, rocking back and forth. And that rocking movement will, for me, it stopped me from really hurting myself. Because my wife thought I was going to fall on my knees or on my face, but I turned around in front of her. And if you can't tell by looking at me or whatever, I'm a very large guy. I'm about 6'1", over 400 pounds. So I'm a big dude. So I fell, and I turned my back towards the direction I was falling in, my behind, and then I fell on the ground, and I treated my body like a pendulum. I swung back and forth, rocked rather, back and forth, and that momentum took the rocking movement rather took the momentum out of falling. And all I wound up doing was dirtying up my clothes. So I jumped back on my feet, and she was like, wow, whatever. So that's a little side note. Hope that helped you out. Just in case you find yourself falling, you can try that. You know, it worked for me. I'm not necessarily saying it will work for you, but you never know. It may not. So now let's move on to the colorino. The colorino is a device that you can use to point out the colors of your clothes, shoes, your trousers, your shirt, your hat. If you're like me and you love to dress, having someone in there with you when you go in the closet can become very irritating because they may be somewhere else doing something else, and you got to come in there and look for this and look for that. It's very irritating, although sometimes I ask my wife to do it for me anyway. Here's what it is. But for the most part, I try to do it myself. And I take my little color indicator, colorino, and you hold it, and you put it to the fabric, and you press the button. It'll tell you what color it is. And you use that to point out your clothes. You go to the fabric store, not fabric store, you go to the clothing store, and you say, I'm looking for a size such and such. They send you over there, and then you just take your color indicator, and you just find that color that you want, and you go on about your business. Next is the book reader. Once again, you can get in contact with your library, get your library card or whatever, and then tell them, librarian or the person on the telephone, you are visually impaired, and tell them you're interested in getting books online, getting books sent to you. And they have these little cartridges that you stick into the device, and you press the device, and the device will read for you. You can fast forward it, rewind it, skip a chapter, go back a chapter, what have you. And it's free. There's no charge. And they'll send it to you, and they can read you your books. You know, I love to read when I was, like I see, I love to read. So now I have that, and I wound up sending that back to the library. I didn't need it anymore because now one of my nieces for Christmas got me a Kindle. So now with my Kindle, I could order all kind of books that I want, or I could just get a movie on Kindle and just have the movie play. It'll play it. You listen to the movie. More than likely, it's a movie I've seen before, so no problem. So the Kindle. Kindle is another very good advice. Or you go to the library and get you a book reader. These are all tools. Once again, these are tools that give you some type of independence. Now then, the bump dots. Bump dots are those raised dots that you can put on various objects. They're like Braille, but there's just one that you can put on various objects to help you. Like I put bump dots on the wash machine and the dryer. I could go in there and I could put the fabric softener, no, the detergent into the wash machine. Let turn it on for a little bit. Put the bump dot, turn it on for a little bit. Then it runs, the water runs. Then I put my load in, then close it. I wash. Then I go over there to the dryer. Use the bump dot, set the dryer, pull out the dryer sheet, change the dryer, change the lint collector, change that, put it back, put the dryer sheet in there. Then when the wash machine's finished, take it out, throw it in the throw it into the dryer, close it, push the button, start. Now I'm washing and drying my own clothes. Then I go in the refrigerator, go to the refrigerator. Rather, we have one of those refrigerators where the outside of the refrigerator has a little spigot where water comes out, and where you can get, it's an ice maker on there also, where there's a bump dot on there right where the water is. There's another one over there where the ice machine is. So I push the ice machine, that the ice machine comes down, ice come out, then I push the water, and the water come down. And yeah, the bump dots. Then on the microwave, my wife put a bump dot on the start button and on the 30-second button. So now if I want to cook it for, let's say, 2 minutes, I press the 30-second 4 times. And that's 2 minutes. See these bump dots, see these are just little tools. It's not much to a sighted person, but to someone that's visually impaired, these tools are invaluable because it saves you a lot of time and a whole lot of frustration. And now we get to one of my favorite devices, tools that I use every day, the iPhone. The iPhone is probably one of the, if not the most valuable tools that I have. Because not only does it answer phone calls, you can text or whatever, but it has a thing called voiceover. Press voiceover, you can speak to your phone and tell your phone what you want to do. You say, Siri, what time is it? And Siri tell you what time it is. Siri, read my messages. It reads you all messages. Siri, read all missed calls, and it reads you all your missed calls. Then if you have a music set up on there, say, Siri, play such and such. And Siri, play such and such. If you don't have an iPhone, I highly advise you to get it. You can get whatever you want to get, but me, I'd advise you to get an iPhone, because an iPhone will save you a whole lot of frustration, applications, and everything. Well, seems as though that's my time. So I hope this video helped you out a whole lot. I'll be back to talk about another subject. Till then, because I don't have my sight, I'll be continuing my walk by faith. God bless you and God keep you.